Hey guys, okay, so you can't see me, but I am going to be repotting these guys, my donkey tails, my sedum donkey tails. If you can see in here, they're getting a little leggy, which means they're stretching out to the light. I have them in two separate pots because honestly at the time I didn't have a pot big enough to put them all in one pot, so I split them up. And they're in two different spots of the house, which they're happy in, but they're starting to stretch here. And it's been about a year since I repotted them, so I'm gonna do that today and we're gonna get started. There's a few pieces that I just take out, the ones that are kind of not salvageable, that I know are dead, like these here. I think these got just a little waterlogged. They've been kind of in there for a while. See, you can't really save those. They probably got too much water at one point and shriveled up, and as you can see, the roots are dead, so those go in the garbage. Anytime you have any petals fall off during a repotting of a donkey tail, you can simply take the leaf and you can then put it in soil, and I'll show you some I have going on right now, which I think I showed you guys in another picture. Hopefully this focuses. If it doesn't, sorry. But see how those are potted there and they're growing little babies. So okay, so let's start getting repotted here. I'm just gonna lightly take each piece out of the pot. And they're very delicate. They're probably the most delicate plants I've ever worked with. It's also the first plant I ever owned, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but you really have to be careful and gentle with them or their leaves will simply just pop right off. You want to just kind of loosen any dirt around the roots. Not super important, I like to, just because I like it to have fresh soil. You kind of want to go in at the root and grab it from there so that you're not really touching the leaves a lot. See, the roots are forming on there. All right, we got one pot done. See all these little babies in here? I'm just gonna go through there after I'm done with the other one and pick out any leaves I think are salvageable and that can grow new succulents. Guys, so this one literally popped a new stem out here and grew that whole thing in a year. This piece right here, the smaller piece from this one. Isn't that fun? Love it. All right, so now that we got those out, I am going to first, since this can wait, I'm going to focus on what I pulled out and get them cleaned up. So what I'll do is I'll take the stem and you want like a good maybe 2 to 3 inches of stem here to stick in the soil, because you want to make sure it goes down far enough to start developing some roots. This one just has a tiny baby root. There's some roots on the side here. So I'm going to pop this leaf off, put it in my bowl that I have setting aside, and that seems pretty good. So I simply just dig a little hole there, stick it in, pat it down. You just kind of want to press nice and lightly around it, and that's it. And we are going to do that for all the rest of these. Okay, so this one, the stem, it doesn't look very good. This looks like it may have been on its way to dying, And these little leaves falling off kind of tells me that that's the case. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe it just got too much water, whatever. This is all still really healthy though, so it's definitely salvageable. So what I want to do is I want to get rid of this stem that's totally waterlogged or dry. Right now it's dry. I want to cut it with sterile scissors, just snip it off, and then I'm going to get rid of like this entire section so that it'll go down into the dirt. And what you want to do is you want to kind of just tug at them, move them back and forth, and they pop right off. And I'm going to use those because there was nothing wrong with those leaves. And I mean, I won't use them all, but a lot of the times you kind of have to play around with it. Some stems won't propagate, some will. That's just what you get with plants. And then up here, this little tip here, I just want to snip that off as well. And that should be good to go. Whoops. We'll use those two. For this one, we're not going to do what I just did with the other one because this has a healthy root system, so we don't need to start, I guess, somewhat fresh with this one. This can simply just be placed back in the dirt. So now we're just taking little clippings that fell off and just kind of filling them in. Just want to push them down in there. They will form roots. And then we got one more little baby over here. Where should we put it? Whoops. Put some more dirt in there. I have a bucket of dirt right next to me because you always just want to make sure that you're filling in and pressing down. You want the stem and the root to be secure in the dirt or it'll just fall out. These bear some weight to them, so they're heavy. So as you can see, about halfway through the video, I kind of took a few out of the center because I needed to plant these bigger guys towards the center or they would just be way too heavy hanging down on the side by themselves. Okay, I think I got everything. What's this guy? This might work. We'll stick him in there somewhere. We'll hide him. See what he does. So now what I do is I will kind of go around, dust her off a little bit, give her a good water, and I'm also going to fertilize. It's good to fertilize, I think, twice a year is what I heard with donkey tails. That's what I've had success with, so that's what I've been doing. And I use a fertilizer. I'll get it. I use this fertilizer by Miracle-Gro. It's a succulent plant food, and you spray it on the top of the soil, and then you water where you spray, so the foam doesn't, the fertilizer's not sitting on top of the soil. It's worked for me. This is the only bottle I've purchased in the past few years, and it's been fine. It's almost empty now. And like I said, I only do it twice a year. So stay tuned for some pictures that I'll post on my Instagram page. If you're not following me already, go to My Clean Leaves, and I will see you guys soon. Bye. I thought I was done, and I'm definitely not done because I wanted to show you all of these little leaves that came off, and there's more over here. See all those? So you can go through them and pick out the ones, like I said, that come clean off of the stem. They kind of are a little mushy on the inside. If you feel it, they're just like a little damp. You want to leave them out. Some people put them in dry soil and just in a window, or some people just lay them on a plate, like literally just lay them out and put them in front of a window so that they can callus over. It takes about 24 to 36 hours or so. That part will callus over, and then you stick them back in the dirt like I showed you in the pot before, and then you can grow your own little baby succulents. Keep in mind, ones like this that are shriveled up are trash, because those won't work.